Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, you've asked for it, the Edward von Beinum box. Finally, the von Beinum box. It's really kind of amazing that this is out there, actually, because these are all historical recordings. He died in 1959, barely made it into the stereo era. Thank God he did. And this contains 44 CDs, but, this is the problem. Here we have 44 CDs of Beinum with his complete recordings on Decca and Philips. And some other things, by the way. But this is coming out in the wake of the 40 CD von Beinum box on Scribendum. And where this was sourced and how it all worked and shook out, I can't say. I can't say that this is officially licensed material, but 90% or more of what's in here is already in here. And there are not enough sonic differences in these mono recordings to write home about. And so then the question becomes, is there enough in here to justify buying it if you already own this? And the answer is only if you are a super duper hardcore Beiniter, I don't know, whatever you want to call yourself, a fan of this guy. Now, we should all be fans of this guy. He's a wonderful conductor. It's very, very interesting, I have to say, that, as we go on in life, it's very easy to say that, so-and-so was great and they were neglected their lifetime and everything they did is fabulous and it's historical and wonderful. And that's really not true. It really isn't. But there is a category of conductor, often composers or musicians, who were just so intensely musical. And they weren't given to flash in their lifetimes. They didn't get a lot of recognition in the face of people who had much bigger personalities. But once those personalities are gone, and there's no active PR being done in their favor, and all we're left with is the sound of the performances itself, some of these voices really deserve to be recognized as the great artists that they were. And Beinum was certainly one of those. Some of the others, Hans Rosbaud, think about it. Skrovichevsky was one. Jean Martinon was another. These were not people who made any waves for their flamboyance, but they were just fantastic musicians. And they left us performances which are so strong in fundamental musical values, things like just tempi and fabulous balances and phrasing and accent and idiomatic understanding of music and gauging of climax and the results they got from the orchestra. That it's just wonderful. And it's particularly wonderful when you compare what they did to what some of these schmoes today are doing to disfigure the masterpieces and cause the great god of classical music, Cancrozans, to want to destroy all of the repertoire but one work from each composer. Well, more on that. We're already in the process of dealing with that, aren't we? But, it really is astonishing. So the guy was great. Absolutely great. But I have to say, if you have the Scribendum box, which is just packed full of stuff, some of which is not here, some of which is live material or broadcast material that did not appear on these labels, you don't need this. You really don't. I am happy to have it because there are a couple things. let me put it to you this way. Because it has like some 78s that were transferred, but even those, they talk about, this is the first time on CD that we're hearing his recording of Strauss's Don Juan. Oh yeah? Well, it's right here. It's right here. In let's see, this is alphabetical. Let's see, where is it? This is supposedly alphabetical, but it's on here somewhere. I know I saw it. So yeah, it's going to be here. Oh, Strauss, R. Strauss, Don Juan. It's under R. Thank you. That's helpful. But there it is. But let's go through this. I want to go through these boxes, and I'll tell you what's in what. And sometimes there was a lot of duplication. He did, because he crossed the mono and stereo eras, and then when he got the Concertgebouw, he had been on Decca. Philips wanted to re-record some of his, basic repertoire, so there are 3 Brahms First Symphonies, for example. and multiple versions of lots of other things. I mean, there are a couple of Bruckner sevenths and some, well, you'll see when we're here. But let's just go through this because they very handily in this booklet gave us an index, alphabetical. And this is listed alphabetical, even though Richard Strauss is by R, but okay. So let's go through. First, we begin with Malcolm Arnold, Beckus the Dandyprat. That is in here. But this also begins before Arnold with the Andriessen Symphony No. 4, which is not in here. So there you go. You see, that's an extra thingy. And then we've got Bach. Let's see, J.C. Bach. Let's see if there's someone in here that's going to be under J. Yes, it is. J.C. Bach. Yes, that is also in here. A couple symphony things. And let's see. Yes, they're both here. And then we have the Bach orchestral suites. They're both here. Bartók, Concerto for Orchestra and Music, First Strings, Percussion, and Celesta. It's in here. Beethoven, bunches of overtures. Let's see, Symphonies 2, and we get 2 performances of that. Let's see if we get 2 here. Symphony number 2. Oh, there it is. No, you only get 1 here. You see? So with the Concertgebouw. And then we've got, let's see, some overtures. Here you also get Beethoven Symphony 7 and the Eroica. And the same selection of overtures, basically, that you get here. So there's more Beethoven symphonies here, which is, a considerable difference. Berlioz. Oh, and you get the violin concerto with Arthur Grumio. And let's see if that's here, too. It probably is. I can't imagine it not being. No, it's not here. You see? There you go. It's not in this. It's in this. So that's that. And then we've got Berlioz. Benvenuto Cellini Overture. 2 Roman Carnivals. Turn the page. 2 Roman Carnivals, 2 Damnation of Faust excerpts, the Trojan March, and 2 Symphony Fantastiques. Now here we have Berlioz, Symphony Fantastique, the Damnation of Faust, and the Roman Carnival Overture. It seems just one of each. So, there you go. That's the kind of differences that you're going to hear. Do I need to go through all of this? Well, I might as well. Bizet, L'Arlésienne Suites 1 and 2. Okay, you get those twice. And none of them are in here, not even under G for George. So they left out Bizet. But we have the Borden Polovtsian dances. Yes, those are here. Those are in here. And Brahms. Now, Brahms was a big deal. There are, like I said, 3 number 1s, 2 number 3s, 2 tragic overtures, the violin concerto with Grumio, 4 recordings of the St. Anthony variations, the first piano concerto with Clifford Curzon, 2 academic festival overtures. I mean, this is all the Brahms he did for those labels. Here we have 2 Haydn variations, the St. Anthony Chorale variations. Let's see, how many number 1s do we get? 1, 2, 3. I think we get 3 number 1s, 2 number 2s, number 3, number 4, the academic festival, and the tragic, no concertos. You'll notice the concertos are missing because those are really very super duper uber copyrighted, I kind of think, probably. And they're in other boxes and things. Britain, the 4 C interludes. We get it twice, the Passacaglia, the Spring Symphony, and the Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra. He did a lot of Britain. Here you get the 4 C interludes twice, the Passacaglia twice. Let's see here. The Spring Symphony. This is a live recording that was like the premiere of it. So I don't know. It just sounds horrible, so I don't really care. It's really bad sounding. And the Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra. That's in here. Now, Bruckner. What do we get from Bruckner? We get the 5th, the 7th twice, the 8th, and the 9th. Here we get, let's see, the 5th, the 7th, the 8th twice. And you get like a broadcast one. And the 9th. So that's rather different. Debussy. He was a great Debussy conductor. He really was. Just phenomenal. You get the Berceuse Héroïque, the Danse Sacrée Profane, the Image, La Mer, and the Scottish March, and the Nocturnes. That's all there. And here we have the Image. We get them twice. La Mer we get twice. Printemps, which isn't in here. The three let's see, La Mer, which is built as, fine. The Scottish March and the Berceuse Héroïque. So it's not quite the same. Diepenbrock, the Marseillaise incidental music, and Te Deum, which is rather interesting. It's first CD thing. And let's see, what have we got by Diepenbrock? Nothing. So there you go. Elgar. Oh, Dvorak, you get some Slavonic dances. There's no Dvorak in here. Here we've got Elgar, the cello concerto with Anthony Pini, the Kokenya Overture, the Elegy for Strings, and the Wand of Youth Suites number 2. 1 and 2. Here we get the Wand of Youth Suites and the Kokenya Overture and nothing else. Then you also get here Escher, Musique pour l'Esprit en Deuil. Yeah, okay. Haydn, Symphonies, Handel, I'm skipping. Franck, Sichet, 1941 and 51. Both in here. Franck, you get Sichet once, and these symphonic variations with Geza Anda once. That's it, which are not in here at all. So we're making progress here. Grieg, 2 elegiac melodies. I don't think there's any Grieg here. No, I don't see any Grieg. Handel water music. Yes, that's here and here. It's one of the great Handel water musics. We all agree that it's just fabulously wonderful. I mean, it really is. Haydn, Symphonies 94, 96, 97, and 100 are in here. And here we get 94, 96, 97, and 100. I don't think this Haydn's very interesting, frankly. I mean, he was supposedly a classical style type person expert, but I find them to be rather just soggy, average Haydn performances by and large. Then we get Henkemans, the violin concerto, a Dutch composer, and he's not in here. Kodai Hari János, that's in here. Yes, that is here. Mahler, okay, all the same stuff. We have Songs of a Wayfarer, Das Lied von der Erde, and Symphonies 4 and 6. 6 is in here. It is not in here. He did 6 at the very, very end of his life. I mean, he was really of two minds about Mahler, even though he was Dutch and they're supposed to be Mahler people. He came to Mahler rather late. But you do get 2 versions of the Songs of a Wayfarer with Eugenia Zareska and Nan Merriman. Okay, Mendelssohn is next. Let's see who's next here is also Mendelssohn. The Italian Symphony, the Hebrides Overture, the Violin Concerto with Alfredo Campoli. He was great, Alfredo Campoli. He's always worth hearing. And A Midsummer Night's Dream Overture twice. And here we have the Italian Symphony, the Hebrides, and the Overture and incidental music to A Midsummer Night's Dream, supposedly. Is this the Overture and incidental music? Probably it is. Let me just double check. I mean, I just want to be as absolutely specific as I can be here. Give me a second. There's Mahler, Bruckner, Brahms, barely is. Mendelssohn, there we go. Midsummer, yes, you get some of the incidental music, so there you go. Just to be absolutely clear. Mozart. All right, there's a pile of Mozart here. Here you get the Post-Horn Serenade. Here, I mean, you get the Post-Horn Serenade, Symphonies 29, 35, and 40, a rehearsal. Here you have a much bigger selection of Mozart. You have the Clarinet Concerto, the Concerto for Flute and Harp, Piano Concerto number 24 with Kathleen Long, the Post-Horn Serenade, Symphonies 29, 33, the Hofner, let's say 35. Turn the page. And that's it. That's it for Mozart. But there's more here than there is here. Okay, so Nikolai, the Merry Wives of Windsor, and that's in here too. Then we have Wilhelm Piper, Symphony number 3. And here we have Symphony number 3, the Piano Concerto, and 6 symphonic epigrams. So there's a considerable difference there. Then we have Ravel, Bolero, La Valse, and the Rhapsody Espagnole. He was supposed to do more Ravel. He was great at this colorful French stuff. He really was. So Ravel, we have Bolero, La Valse, Daphnis and Chloe Suite number 2, which is in here, but not here. And bear in mind that the broadcast and non-standard things can have very, very dim sound. So just keep that in mind as we talk about this stuff. Reger, the Ballet Suite, his Valse d'Amour, and the Variations Fugue on a theme by Mozart. And here we have just the Ballet Suite bits, not the Mozart variations. So that may matter a bit to some of you. Rimsky-Korsakov, Scheherazade. Yes, that's in both of these. Rossini, 4 overtures. They're wonderfully performed, by the way. They're just delicious. And they are not here at all. And then after that, we have, there was R. Strauss. We talked about that. Respighi, The Fountains of Rome. That's in here, but it's not here. So there you go. And then we've got Schoenberg, 5 orchestral pieces. The Orchesterstücke. They're in here. They ain't here. Schubert, the Rosamunde excerpts, Symphonies 3, 4, 5, 6, and the Unfinished. And here we've got Schubert, Rosamunde, and Symphonies 3, 4, 6, 8, 9 and more Rosamunda. It mentions Rosamunda twice. So that's not the same. Sibelius, this was those LPO Sibelius recordings that were on Decca. On Saga, Finlandia, Tapiola, Valse Triste, the Violin Concerto with Jan Dahmen. And here we have on Saga, Tapiola, Valse Triste, and Finlandia, but no Violin Concerto. Smetna, the Moldau, that's in here. Vltava, but it's not in here. Next page, hang on. We're almost at the end. Really. Sousa, The Stars and Stripes Forever, was one of von Beinum's favorite performances, and it's a rouser. It really is. Then we've got that Strauss R, Don Juan, which is R. Strauss, Don Juan in this box. Stravinsky, Song of the Nightingale, Rite of Spring, Firebird Suite. Stravinsky, Firebird Suite, The Rite of Spring, Song of the Nightingale. Tchaikovsky, Nutcracker Suite, Romeo and Juliet, Serenade for Strings, just the waltz. And the String Quartet No. 1, just the Andante Cantabile. These were like 78 RPM filler pieces, or extra time in the recording session filler pieces. So we have Tchaikovsky, Nutcracker, Romeo and Juliet, and Symphony No. 4, which is not in here. And then we've got Thomas Mignon, yes, Overture, that's here. And that's the end of this. And here we have Lohengrin, the Prelude to Act 3. So those are the differences. Are we paying attention? Very close attention. There's going to be a quiz. No, I mean, seriously. As you can see, they are, basically, 90% the same, probably thereabouts. But there is sufficient unusual or different stuff between them that hardcore, Beinumers are going to want both. There you go. It's your call. Make your decision accordingly. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep on listening. Take care.